So talk to us, man, about growing up in Rocky Mount, man, and playing at Northern Nash, and what shaped your early hoop identity.
Just playing in the hood, man. You know, it's totally different now. You know, playing
Yeah.
AAU. I ain't really lock into the AAU because it wasn't really that big.
It wasn't the same.
You know what I mean? It wasn't the same. So me growing up, you know, all my skills really came from playing at the gym. I grew up in the South Rocky Mount area, so it's just at the gym, man. Me and my guys, we was just hooping. That's all
Yeah.
we did was hoop. We ain't trained. Like I ain't know nothing about training
Right.
and stuff like that. So we just went to hoop. But we was hooping daily, day
Right.
in, day out, all day, just, you know, going to the gym and just hooping. So that's where majority of that came from.
That's dope. Talk about your Northern Nash legendary run.
Oh man, yeah, that was cool. Like it was, you know, playing with some of my guys in my neighborhood, and
Yeah.
you know, a lot of my other guys went to the rival school, which was Rocky Mount.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? It was just
That's one of the biggest rivalries
yeah,
to
it
this
was
day.
definitely one of the biggest rivalries. So it was like I was playing with them guys, like, you know, after school and stuff like that, until playing against them in high school. So
Right.
it was major, man. And that's when basketball was really like you locking in. You got to buy games before, tickets before school, and you know what I'm saying, no video out of it. Or
Right.
no, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just came.
Everybody was there.
Yeah,
it was the thing. It was a place to be.
Yeah, it was a place to be. Everybody went to the games, from the community to the pastors to
Right.
politicians,
Barbers.
barbers, everybody. You know, you in the barbershop, everybody like, yo, you going to the game tonight.
Yeah,
so it was just
yeah.
something to do, you know, for the community, for the city, for real.
Yeah. What is your favorite moment at Northern that you can remember?
I always remember just playing against Rocky Mount, playing against senior high. I think like one time, I think my career high was like 38. You know what I'm saying? Against Rocky Mount. So that was a big thing right there.
That's
like,
a special moment right
yeah,
there.
you playing against the rival and you score like your career high. So that was something real major for me, for real.
That's dope. That's dope. So what went in your, talk about your recruitment and then what ended up making your decision to go to Norfolk State?
Well, my recruitment was, you know, it wasn't really heavy. I wasn't really highly recruited, all because of the area and all because of probably the AAU stuff.
Right.
So my thing was,
So you didn't play AAU at all?
Nah, I played like some kind of AAU, but not like it is now. Like not all that. I wasn't into it. And I had a you know, some bad situations, just being like, yo, I'm gonna play in the hood and somebody gonna watch me wherever I'm at. I'm in high school. That was some bad guidance for real. But it was just more of playing in the hood. So just me being recruited. Like I had went to ECU. I was supposed to go to ECU. So I went there for our team camp, balled out. So, you know, they was like, yeah, we interested. We gonna come, blah, blah, blah. The coach ended up getting fired, the guy that was recruiting me. So it was just me just like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I actually knew a police officer, ex-police officer in Rocky Mount, Officer Brooks, never forget. He drove me down to Norfolk State, like in his truck. Like, come on, kid, I know a coach over there.
Yeah.
He drove me down there like one Saturday. He was like, just bring your hoop shoes just in case they want you to play. So I was just going to meet the coach. I brought my hoop shoes, brought my hoop stuff. I went and hooped. They was like, oh, nah, we signed you right then.
That's nuts.
Yeah, but it was like, how did anybody miss you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's nuts.
So that's how that went. It was like I drove down there. I openly just paid open gym with them. I hooped out, and they was like, yeah, we signed you.
Did you feel like undervalued or underappreciated, under-recruited, whatever you want to say, as far as high school coming out, or did you feel like you knew it was like an area thing where it's really tough, or like you knew that, well, I didn't play AAU to put myself out there?
Well, I didn't really know nothing.
Yeah.
So it was just me, like, I was just hyped to, you know, be able to play.
High school kid.
Being a high school kid. So I didn't even really know nothing about like the recruiting part of it or going to school. It was more like, all right, I'm a hoop and I'm gonna just take care of business after that. So when the doors open, you know, I was like, all right, bet, let's go. You know what I mean? So it was just like, after the fact, when I look back, I'm like, oh man, I should have did this differently, or I should have did that. But
it worked out.
It worked out. You know, I ended up, you know, being great. You know what I mean? So it worked out real good for me.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So you evolved from coming off the bench at Norfolk State to being one of the top scorers by the end of your career there. What was that development process and that mental process that you had to go through during your years at Norfolk State?
It's just like being a freshman at any school, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was just more me getting the opportunity and just gaining the coach's respect. You know what I mean? So I got in a couple games for my freshman year, but it was like either I'm getting in when we down 20 or we up 20.
Oh, we up 20.
So it was one of those things when I got in, I was hooping. Like, it was like one game I played like 6 minutes, had 11 points, 3-4 rebounds, couple assists, steals. So it was just one of them. So they seen the potential. And then in practice, I was dogging in practice. I was dogging. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo,
like what's going on?
Yeah. So, but I didn't understand it. Again, I'm still a Rocky Mount kid, happy to be in school. So it was like, all right, bet I'm just
this what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, this what it's supposed to be like. So I'm like, all right, my time gonna come. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like my.
And we'll talk about that mindset real quick, Mo, because like these kids don't have it, and there's like no going through adversity and having to go through that brick wall and trusting the process. Like everything now is just like, if it's not shiny or if it's nothing to happen right now, I'm ready to leave. So talk about how you maintain that mindset.
It was just, and with me, it was just me being from Rocky Mount. So I mean, a lot of people I don't know watching it knows about Rocky Mount situation. It wasn't better then, it wasn't worse. It's the same situation now. So it's tough coming from Rocky Mount. So me, you know, one good thing about this area, all the area, if you play sports and you're good, everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows who you are. So you're getting support from everybody in the 252. So it was one of those things that like, I probably was the first person that went D1 in a long time from there. You know what I mean? So it was just one of those things like, all right, everybody happy for me. Everybody rooting for me. Let's make it work. So my thing is, I didn't want to upset my family and my people. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, my time's going to come. I knew I was a dog on the court. I knew I could play. You know what I'm saying? So it was just me trusting my coaches and, you know, them trusted me and it ended up coming. But it was like, all right, when I come in, I'm going to take full advantage of what I'm going to do. I'm going to ball out. I'm going to do whatever he say. I'm going to leave him no choice but to play me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how one of them situations went. Like my freshman year, I probably played I probably averaged 3 points. But I was probably better than the guard. I was better than the guard that was ahead of me. But it was just about respect. Like you do respect. Like I knew my time was coming. So, you know what I mean?
So talk about, what year was it that you felt like you transcended? Like junior year or
my sophomore year, because so this was the whole time I went to school, I was knowing that, okay, I got a senior guard. I'm probably in front of me. So I'm going to learn from him my freshman year. And then, you know, my sophomore year, I'm going to jump in and be the man. So it went exactly probably how I planned it. You know what I'm saying? It's like my freshman year, sat the bench, played a little bit. My sophomore year, I was a sixth man. I was supposed to have been starting, but my coach is like, yo, look, you better off the bench. It worked out. You know what I mean? My junior, senior year was like, all right, I was the man. You know what I'm saying? But it's like my sophomore year, I think I was like the second or third option off the bench. And then when it came down to clutch, I was in the game. You know what I mean? When it mattered. When it mattered, I was in the game. So I didn't really care about starting because even with the fans and stuff, you know, in college when the fans come in, it's like, it's a good thing you coming off the bench because there's no expectation. Nobody expected nothing. So then it got to the point that when I came in the game, all the crowd yelling and stuff like that. Oh, put Deloach in, put Deloach in. So it was one of those things like I was kind of happy. Like, my time about to come, I'm about to go in and I'm about to affect the game. You know what I'm saying? So you could just feel the difference of me starting and me, you know what I'm saying, me coming off the bench. And I was cool with being the sixth man. I was happy.
Yeah, that's dope, man. And that's something that these kids will never understand. So, you know, when you're mentoring some of these kids, and we'll hop into that a little later, like what are you telling them about, you know, staying the course?
Yeah, it's just like you got to be able to face adversity. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Like everybody that's nice and ball would go to college. Everybody that's nice and ball would go pro, would make some money playing ball. It don't work like that. Like I wasn't the best player that came from Rocky Mount, but I knew I had to. My grades was all right. I knew you had to learn. You got to know how to play. I mean, how to play with people. You got to know how to read plays. You got to know how to do defensive schemes. You got to, know how to do a playbook. You got to know all this stuff. So it ain't just about playing basketball. I tell people all the time, I wasn't the best player that come through Rocky Mount, but I was one of the ones that stuck with it. And that's something about you got to stick with it through adversity and all this stuff like that. It's not going to be easy for sure.
100%.